Hey, everyone. Welcome to My So-Called Fabulous, my show. I'm Tiffany Blackman. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me today. It's great to talk to you in this time that we're all in right now. So great talking to you. So I'm bringing as many of my friends and guests on as I can. And I'm so excited because in episode number 7, if you look it up, I brought on a dear friend of mine, Charisse Henry from Pacific Table. And today she's back. Oh my goodness, she's back. And I've also brought on her brother, Chris Horne. Hey, Chris.
I apologize in advance.
Special guest.
So Chris and Charisse, although good friends, I see them every single Monday night. Not anymore. But they are with Pacific Table in Fort Worth, and Charisse is the general manager, and Chris is the bar manager, and we know them both so very, very well, and we miss you guys so much. But thank you so much. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us.
Thanks for having us.
Needed something to do.
All right, absolutely.
Fill the hours.
All right, we're about to go into lockdown, so
I hope this is an 8-hour podcast.
Right.
That's the typical length of my shift.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. And we do have our drinks flowing. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see that we have bubbles and Sauv Blanc and something hidden over there in a cup.
Well,
it's all kind of fun stuff.
It's best to have a mystery, otherwise you don't want to know all the answers.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, okay, let's go ahead and get this knocked out because everyone, that's listening across the world to this podcast, thank you for listening. But we are in the middle of a pandemic and a crisis. We're in a world crisis, and I am so happy and honored that you came on and you're willing to talk about this because here we are. Our Monday nights are gone. I'm there on Friday nights. Well, whoa. But what is going on? When you came on episode 7, we didn't even talk about this.
No, I mean, that was back early February.
Yes.
Less than 2 months ago.
And, how time flies.
Yeah, and
time
so much has changed.
Right.
So much has changed in my life, in everyone's life. But yeah, so we did not talk about it at all. It wasn't a thing, wasn't an issue.
So let me get everyone briefed on Pacific Table also has the tavern as well as Press Cafe.
Correct.
And listen to episode 7 and you can hear all about that restaurant that we are just counting the days until you're back. But tell us, I watched it unfold and let me tell you what happened. And we had this conversation, the 4 of us, because Greg is friends with these 2 fabulous people as well. But I actually hashtagged, I would go see you, I would go to Bonnell's, I would go to different places, and I would do hashtag local. And I did get a little bit of negative feedback that I was not being socially responsible and I should have been quarantining. So my rebuttal was, these are my friends. These are my people. I'm a chef, and more than anything, these are my people. This is restaurants, and this is our economy staying alive. So I did get that. And you know what? We're all gonna have a right to our own opinion, and I get it. And we are all forced right now to stay at home. But tell us from the time that everything, you went to Costa Rica and came back. And that was a few weeks ago, right?
Right. So
what happened?
End of January, I was in Costa Rica. Beginning of February, I was in Costa Rica. Came home, nothing. I heard about the virus over in China. But it was not affecting the United States at that point. So, we were doing what we as Americans do, living our little rainbow, rose-colored lives in our own world, even though we share it with other people. And just kind of going on as normal. As far as we all knew, we were safe, everything was okay, and we continued life as it should be. So, I came, I did a podcast, I kept on with work, I just got off vacation. And on Wednesday of last week,
yes,
we were all informed that we would have a meeting on Thursday. And
a management meeting.
All the managers from all the concepts in the company. And we were at that point informed that we were all terminated as employees, which was the best business decision to make for our company. And we didn't have jobs.
Right.
So that quickly, like literally, I went from, ziplining in Costa Rica to less than 2 months later, not having a job, not knowing when I was going to have another paycheck. And not only myself, but my daughter works at the restaurant. I think we spoke about that. Not only my daughter, but my brother also works at the restaurant. So now my family is unemployed. It's not just me. Fortunately, my husband is still employed. He's in the banking industry, and Chris's girlfriend is still employed. She works for a university. And so fortunately, we're lucky in those things. And, Kelsey's going to be okay because she can always come back home.
Come home.
Yeah.
She just moved out.
March 1st.
So excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited. Can you imagine? You're 21 years old. You finally have your own place. And
then you get fired.
Yeah.
Or furloughed or laid off.
So you guys clarify, is it just semantics of fired, laid off, furloughed?
I mean, it's semantics. It's, it's the way you file your unemployment, I think.
Exactly.
Is one of the biggest things.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
but and also in that, the reality struck when I actually had a letter that says, Christopher Horne, you are terminated. Mm-hmm. It hits home a little different.
When it's in writing.
Yeah, when you actually see that. And this is something that, I'm one of those people who keep almost everything. I'm not a hoarder, but
he's a hoarder.
I do keep a lot of things.
I was about to ask you were a hoarder.
Yeah. He has Tommy Hilfiger shirts from 1992.
Hey, they on sale right now too. If y'all need any, they still in excellent condition. I guarantee you that.
I'm pretty sure he has some throwback Jabos that are available.
But no, I say that because
vintage. Yes.
I've only been actually terminated from a employment twice in my life. And the crazy thing is, I just thought about this sitting here now, was when September 11th happened.
Oh my goodness.
I just thought about this whole thing.
Just now, right?
So I went to UTA to get my degree in social work, and I was working for a nonprofit organization in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And it was totally nonprofit. It was basically, we were parallel parents for these inner city kids in Fort Worth, and we were helping them with their studies and getting them just to have a different view on life and not stay in the projects.
Sure.
And see that that's the only way of life. And so it's a very important program. I believe it was called Hopes and Dreams. Mm-hmm. So I say all that to say, October the 15th of 2011, I got my first termination letter, and said, you are terminated due to, lack of funds. Because as I said, we were totally nonprofit, and everybody was pouring in money. But as soon as September 11th happened, everybody turned their eye to New York and sent all the, the extra funds there. So that was the second time I lost a job due to crisis in the United States. And I just... that epiphany just came to me. Yeah, right.
Well,
but and a blessing on top of that too, coming back to that, is seeing that I got through that as well.
Yes.
So I'm still here. I feel like I made a better life for myself after that. I built on that, and I was able to understand how resourceful I could be as a person, and rely on my people around me. As we were talking, my sister has always been a great part of my life, and we've always been able to get through things together. And the gift and the curse of this whole thing is that we're together, as you said, and my niece, and we're all together as a family. We're able to get through this together and hunker down and figure it out. Mm-hmm. So
unfortunately, we don't have jobs, but
but we'll figure it out. We got each other.
We absolutely will. And so in all of this happening, Tiffany, one of my biggest concerns has always been not necessarily the people that were in my circle of control, not my brother, not my daughter, but the people who, my extended family, the people who have come to work, dedicated themselves to what we do every single day, who don't have the sister, the brother, the mom,
The spouse,
the
the significant other.
to depend on, because those guys came to work every day and they were there having a good time and enjoying your company, but they weren't there just to have fun. They were there because they were working and they needed income, and those people still need income.
Ugh.
And, unfortunately, at this point in society, it's better for us to forego the needs of, I guess, everyone, the economy. We have to sacrifice right now for the health of the country. And, there's plenty of debate. There's plenty of debate about what the right thing to do is. And some say, shelter in place. Some say, let's just get this over with. Some say, why can't we go back to work? I mean, everyone's going to have a different opinion.
Of course.
On what should be done and how it should be done. I think the biggest thing is, as a community, whatever we do, whatever the thing is, we probably just need to do it together.
Yes.
So we can get it done.
And let's move on.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So your employees, how many employed at Pacific?
We have about 45 employees.
Oh, my
total.
stars.
Yeah.
Front of the house, back of the house.
Correct.
Oh, my gosh, 45.
Management included, yeah.
Management. So that conversation, I mean, it's in front of all of them, right?
Yeah, it was a very hard conversation.
Because you've got every age and demographic.
Yeah, and a lot of them, unfortunately, everything happened so quickly. A lot of them, I didn't get to talk to them in person. I did not get to talk to them and, let them know that, hey, I'm sorry, this is out of my control. I didn't get to have that conversation with a lot of them because things progressed so quickly.
Yeah.
We literally went Monday to work, and I was concerned about the vacation I was supposed to take the Monday after.
Right. Yeah, because that's the life we live.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, this COVID thing, I'm not going to be able to fly. I better start canceling.
But I want to stop you there real quick, because honestly, I want to give you props for giving our staff heads up in a way. Honestly, we do what we call a pre-shift every day before each shift, and just to get a sense of our staff for the day or that shift, and put them on their way. Charisse was very understanding of things that were going on. I mean, she doesn't give herself as much credit as she should. She was honestly told everybody in those pre-shifts that she was a part of, she would say, you know what, you guys, things are starting to slow down a little bit. Things are starting to be more drastic. You guys need to be more understanding of your income.
Responsible with your money. I told them to stop spending money.
Because in our
2
industry,
weeks before any of this
You were
happened.
parenting them.
in our industry, we are products of our industry.
Yes.
We make fast money, so we spend fast money. I don't anymore ever since I became in management.
Right.
But I was in there. I was there. When I was a bartender and I was making $500 a night, I'm spending $200 a night. You know what I mean? Because I could go and make the more next money.
Can
next
always
day,
make more.
And that's the way it was. And that's the mantra, if not the understanding of most of these people that are in this industry that is hit hardest right now. And it's sad that now you look and you say, wow, if I would have, or if I should, I
wouldn't have if I had known.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Exactly. But what can come from this can be growth, can be understanding. And now these people will maybe be a better person on the other side of this. And those are the things we have to start looking at in this whole pandemic and in this whole crisis of the United States or of the world, is we need to examine our lives, examine how we treat people, and how we look at people, and how we do things in our own financial lives, personal lives, all those things. Yeah. And now that we have time to sit and ponder and reflect, do those things. Dissect yourself. be a better person on the other side of this. You know, don't be that same person that went into everything recklessly and you know, nonchalantly. Sometimes you have to, you know, you have to sit back and figure it out. And if you don't stop, you'll keep doing it. You'll just keep going.
But you know, unfortunately, this situation is not a result of recklessness. Like, so
it's not a result.
Yeah, so
but those byproducts can be more hazardous than the actual source sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, some of these guys had habits because it is my daughter, 21 years old. You make money, you spend money, make sure you have money for rent. You know, she just moved out. Teaching those lessons. How many of us learned those lessons when we should have?
Yeah, when people are telling us those lessons.
Most of us did not.
We didn't listen.
We didn't. We don't.
Like,
who does? And so, you know, most of my staff are in their 20s. They're living their best lives.
Making great money.
Making great money.
Only imagine.
And so they are, you know, doing the things that they should be doing in their 20s with no responsibilities.
Isn't that great? Wouldn't you like to do that again?
Yeah, and
I wish I could do it again.
Unfortunately, that doesn't include saving the way that they should, or, you know, but who could have predicted? No. Because when is the last time this happened?
No. Oh, exactly.
God. Right. Like, who could have? And so through no fault of their own, they didn't lose their job. They didn't show up late to work. They didn't. So, you know, these are people who were dedicated and through no fault of their own have found themselves in a situation to not be able to take care of themselves and their family. Yeah. And that's just where my heart breaks. Because
there's nothing you can do for them.
There's nothing I can do for them. And everyone who works for me and everyone who's been around me at work knows how much I care for my staff, how much I'm concerned about their well-being, how much I coach them through life when I can, help them with things that have absolutely nothing to do with the restaurant. You know, but this is my family.
I know it.
You know, we have a couple days off, you know, Christmas and Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I host a kickball game for our entire staff.
Right.
And from the other stores if they want to come.
4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
And that way we can all just hang out because we're family. We like to, you know, we like to laugh. And we have this group chat going on right now that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, dear.
I had to turn my phone off because it's going to chime.
Right? It has gone. It has gone crazy.
I'm sure.
But it's because we are missing each other. We're missing the comments and the
camaraderie, you know, the jokes, the
corniest of jokes.
Oh my goodness.
You know, all of those things that we have taken for granted.
Oh,
you know, just
taken away,
just
quickly,
like that,
just like that,
like that.
Yeah. You know, you two. And I said this. I was so worried about you. I checked on you every day because I could see it because you guys we're going to do curbside. We're going to distance at the bar. We're going to take half the tables out. You had a plan. And then that plan, obviously, you know, our local government decided, and that, you know, we support 1,000%. Thank you, Betsy Price, for all you're doing to support us. But I was concerned for you and you, Chris, because I go into that restaurant and it's like me going to your home.
Right.
You guys are entertaining. You wake up in the morning. You are having a party. If I'm not, now I know I am. I'm not
every day.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to be cliche, but
no, it absolutely is.
No, that's why I'm wearing my sunglasses because I had such a party last night. I can't.
Oh my goodness.
I can't do with the light. So thank you.
I got to sing every time, you know. So, oh dear.
You better stop telling people you had a party.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Not the right
Just
thing
he
to
and
say
Jessica
right now.
had a party.
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica.
Yeah. Shout out, Jessica. Shout out.
So my point is, I was so concerned because, all right, you're worried about your staff, both of you. You're worried about your finances, and you're worried about the restaurant. But also, I would worry about your mental health because you're having a party every day. You get up, you get dressed, you're dressed to the nine. Chris sits down with Gray, talks. You sit down, have a glass of wine. I was very concerned about, and I worry about your staff too because they're having.
Yeah.
They're
no social interaction.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And we thrive. We are like little flowers.
Yeah.
Without sunshine right now.
Little butterflies that float to every flower.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but we're flowers without sunshine right now. Like we are not being fed.
Right. Exactly.
And that is one thing that I have been concerned about, that I know that people in other industries don't necessarily understand, that people don't understand why we start in the restaurant business to begin with. Like, why would you be a restaurant manager? Hours are so long. It's so daunting.
Or like me for chef. Why would you be chef?
Right. And people are not
Mm-hmm.
the nicest at all times, you know, but those are the negatives.
Right.
All of the best things about my job are the reasons that I do that every single day.
Yeah.
You know, the getting up, putting on makeup and wearing heels to work every day, even though I work in a restaurant and work 10 plus hours, you know, making sure that I'm dressed, making sure that I'm a reflection of my guests, that people walk in the door seeing what, you know, what they want to see and, you know, who they are, a reflection of who they are. And then just having my time with my friends. Because it is like a party every day.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and now it's, Greg's recently retired, so we've kind of acclimated a little bit, but, you know, he's going crazy because Greg likes to go out to lunch and dinner every day, every single day. He and his brothers, that's what they like to do,
yeah.
you know, and he likes to go to a gym every single day. And that's kind of so you have that, you're at home and so you're with your family and your children and your pets, and you know what?
Yeah, well, we joke about this. But we were joking about it. I think at the bar before all this ended, we were talking about, well, it's going to be either a lot of babies from this, which we know it's going to be a lot of babies from this, and
not on our end.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Not on our
and
end.
hopefully not too many divorces from this.
Yeah.
No, not on our
Alcoholics.
end.
Neither one of those are going to happen.
Alcoholics, maybe.
That's true.
I don't
So
know.
it's going to be tough, man. But even in that, I believe a lot of creativity, a lot of hidden talents are going to shine through.
Yeah, like I can dance and I can sing.
Yeah, oh,
Can come on come on podcast.
Yeah, come on podcast, which I never thought
You would have never had time to come on this podcast.
Yeah, right?
Chris. No.
And
No.
I am appreciating all the times and all the things that I am able to do now. I mean,
Right.
because I'm opening up myself to everything. You know, I've been mapping out, you know, routes to run each day, mapping out, you know, trying to get a regimen. I know everybody's on this. Oh, I'm gonna work out now that I have no time.
I have time.
But I mean, hey, why not?
Right.
Like, right.
Like
Eight ounces at a time. Like 8 ounces at a time. But yeah, I'm working. You know, we're all working to do things to keep our sanity and to keep us just uplifted and not
Right.
in depression mode. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's so quick to get
Oh,
there.
absolutely. And you know what? Thank goodness yesterday the weather changed in Fort
Amen to
Worth
that.
at least.
Amen to that.
It's beautiful, and
Yeah.
you see so
As soon
many
as we
people
got to
outside.
stay at home.
So I
Yeah.
have a question for you, Chris. So you say that you went to UTA and you social work, which now it's all coming together for me. But your social work, and you went to a nonprofit. I worked for a nonprofit as well, and that is a different mindset.
Yeah,
1,000%.
definitely.
So, what other than 9/11 perhaps made you get into the food and beverage industry, the hospitality industry?
Well,
Ta-da!
yeah. Well,
Your
that
sister,
she's always been
Da-da-da.
she's always been my rock, and she's always been, you
I
know,
know.
the person that I look to for inspiration and guidance in a lot of things I do. You know, probably unbeknownst to her, you know, I do things.
He don't listen to me, so I
that-
don't know what he's talking about. He does not
As I
listen
said, unbeknownst to her, I do things.
didn't know.
I let her say it, and then I come back and say, "You know what I should do?"
to me. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
But no, I've always been.
She's the older one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've always been in the food and beverage industry. Before I came up to UTA, I was going to school at a little community college in Waco.
Oh, MCC.
MCC, exactly.
We're all from the
Shout out.
country, people.
Shout out to
Shout out to my
MCC.
Highlanders out there. Yeah. So I did that. I worked, you know, Pizza Hut. I did things to make money to
Sure.
be able to, you know, come up to Fort Worth, to the big city, as I called it back
Because
then.
she was already here, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah. You were up here already.
No, I was living in New York.
She was in the big city
Okay,
already.
you went to UTA. Okay,
She was in a big city already.
Yeah.
But I wasn't
Not really.
following right behind her.
Right.
I was just doing things in my own space, in my own manner to get to a point where I had seen in her to see that, I can do this. I can do more than, I can get out of Waco. I can do some things.
Sure.
And that's what food and beverage was always my thing. Hospitality.
Right.
I always wanted to help people, and in any way I could. And that's why I was always in social work and I always wanted to do that. And then hospitality is kind of like a step back off of that, and not so much, the mental part or the aspects of life. It's just coming in, me being a ray of sunshine to you and your family across a pizza pie or whatever.
Ray of sunshine.
Yeah. I'm that. I am that. Yes.
You are.
I've been called that. I've been called a lot of things, but ray of sunshine is in there too. But yeah, so I've always wanted to be that person. That's always been me. Always been, able to give myself to people and be very charismatic in that whole space. It makes me happy. It gives me joy. It puts a smile on my face. People wonder why. Well, how can you be so happy when you're giving so much of yourself to everybody else? Well, if in your heart of hearts that's what gives you joy,
sure.
then that's what gives you joy. And it's not generic. It's not forced. It's genuine.
Right.
And so I have many little jars of happiness that I have placed away. Like, honestly, I know it sounds corny, but yeah. And then now in this time when I can't be around people and stuff like that, I go back and open those little jars and think about it. It's like, oh, wow. I remember this time that me and Tiff,
what do those jars have in them?
Those they're not real jars.
Right. Ideas.
They're just metaphor.
Okay.
Yeah,
metaphorical jars.
Yes,
okay,
metaphorical jars.
I was just wondering.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
'cause I was like, you ain't told me nothing about these jars.
I want to. Can I come
And I
over
don't
and see
have
these
any of
jars?
my
I'm not that. Yeah, I'm not that crazy. No, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
Right.
But no, I open these little mental jars every so often. I think about things like time me and you and Greg sat at the at the bar and talked about things, and and
Yeah.
those type
That's
of things.
all we have right now.
That's all you have,
Should
and
think
you
about
have to reflect back on those things, and those are the things that give you joy and take you out of those dark spaces. Because sometimes when you get into just yourself, it gets a little dark.
Can get a little dark, yeah.
Yeah, so you need a little light. So
Well, and you know what? I mean, we do have to. I like what you said is self-reflection right now. Charisse and I sit around over a bottle of champagne and talk about business ideas. I mean, and
Absolutely.
And this is the time that you think about, but you miss your life. So, we're all so busy. We're just like, oh my gosh, we're so busy. And we were so busy. I mean, so crazy busy. But it's that time of self-reflection and thinking and being kind. When I put out a little IGTV last week, I said, people, be kind to each other. Understand I might not believe what, you know what I mean? Back with a hashtag Go Local. I mean, so anyway, it's that time of self-reflection.
And the other thing is people are always so quick to judge. So, and you just don't ever know, you're doing something from your heart to try to make sure that people that and support and love are surviving, and people take that opportunity to pass judgment on you. I mean, we all need to self-reflect.
Absolutely.
We all, because another thing that's coming out of people not working and people being so available to stream and look at social media is coming, a lot of judgment is coming from that.
Of course.
A lot of judgment is coming from it. And then we also have to protect our children. Our kids are starting to see things that aren't necessarily reflective of who we want them to be. So just, it's a different time. If this had happened 15 years ago, we wouldn't be so concerned with, what our kids were seeing on social media, what challenges they were trying to achieve, and, but we're in a different time now. If 10, 15 years ago, you would, said, I'm going to support local business, no one would have been attacking you.
No.
On a public forum. So things are different, but we have to also remember that humankind is in danger right now. and everyone doesn't know how to deal.
Kind being the operative word.
Yeah, but everyone doesn't know how to deal with adversity, and everyone doesn't know how to deal with stress. You know, these are things that, like, we're basically trained on. This is our business. Like, stressful environments, stressful situations happen to me every
all the time.
Friday, Saturday,
Oh gosh.
night, Sunday morning, Monday, midday, Tuesday. Like, this is a part of my life.
Sure.
You know, to be in a chaotic and stressful situation. What I'm not used to is sitting around, being able to watch every show that I've ever wanted to watch. You know, so these things are you know, what are challenging us,
Right.
You know, the people in my industry. But shout out to the locals that are still up and operating.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I just want to say, you know, to my friends at Ellerby, Richard, you know, I love you. You guys are the best. You know, to our new neighbors, Blue Goose, Kylie and Alicia. I hope you guys are really making it. And you know,
Rogers Roundhouse, y'all doing an awesome job.
You
Keeping
know,
the tent outside.
Buffalo Bros. You know, John Bonnell,
B&B.
Yeah,
you know,
B&B. Awesome.
B&B. Those guys. I mean, kudos to you. And for, you know, for some of the smaller guys and some of the restaurants who thought it would be best for us to just shut down our operations for now.
Kudos to you too.
Philippe, thank you. Jenny, thank you for the health and welfare of our staff, you know, because to make a decision to shut down your business
It's big.
is a big decision to make. So although I do not have a job right now, we've all been promised our jobs back.
Yeah.
So I will say that. And I also would like to say, you know, this is for the safety of our staff and our family. You know, Philippe made this.
Their families.
Philippe made this decision for all of us.
And Philippe is the owner.
Yeah. So you know, as depressing as it seems, I do want to say that, you know, we are grateful to be in a part of a company that is concerned for us because we could be standing outside handing bags out. You know, we could be doing so much. You know, and so. Not easy decisions to make. I think that, you know, Marcus, Pasley, Clay Pigeon, those guys decided to close down their operation. You know, it's like, these are not easy decisions to make for owners and, you know, business owners, small business, people where the community rely on you. It's challenging. And when you rely on the community, because I get to go back to work, but will you come back? You know, and that's the challenge.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know, everyone's not privileged to have a Tiffany and a Craig. Everyone's not privileged to have loyal and consistent guests.
Right.
That, you know, that'll be waiting for us to come back.
Oh.
Everyone's not blessed to have that. And we are. So I just think the fact that we're doing the right thing for the community and for our restaurant group right now, the best financial decisions for our restaurant group, that, you know, the things that are going to help us in the long run. I just really think I'm grateful that these are the decisions that are being made. Now I'm ready for my check, but
of course we are. Of course we are.
You know,
yeah, absolutely. You know, and I do want to say this to everyone out there, because Saturday night we frequent Mikasina at Hewlin and West Freeway. I grew up with it, and, you know, I mean, in college, and love some of their staff. I mean, the majority of their staff. So we frequent, so they're doing the carry out. So I do want to say to those of you, now I chose the path of media to be a chef. I did not choose to be a restaurateur, but the number of people standing outside, there was probably 30, 40, 50 people standing outside Saturday night for their to-go orders, which you ordered online. So we ordered it, and it gave you an approximate time, 20 minutes. So I'm like, you know what? No, that's not going to be that. So I went into the grocery store and went and was waiting. We waited about an hour, but I just want to say to those people that are yelling at the people that are bringing out the bags of food for you, I just want to say to you, this isn't their MO. This isn't how they run their company.
Run restaurants.
Yeah,
we're trying to figure this out for you.
Yeah. And I didn't, because Charisse knows I'm not a confrontational person, but I was very angry at a consumer that was just yelling and just like, why? And I was like, they don't have it down. This is a precious little bus boy bringing out. So
The other
guys,
thing
be
is,
patient.
people, you could cook at home.
You can cook at home. There's not a food shortage. I mean, we're hoarding, but
There's still not a food shortage.
There's still not a food shortage. The food supply chain is still there. But I'm just saying, people, be patient with, I mean, if you go from a full-blown, what you guys are doing to carry out, how many carry outs do you have? A few. I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have quite a bit, but that's not our whole operation.
That's not our deal.
Yeah.
So, and I will tell you, the last day of operation for us, we did curbside, and I was one of 3 people trying to run it. It was a nightmare.
Right.
It's tough.
It was a nightmare. It was people not sure where to go. You know, we hadn't quite figured it out yet. You know, it just was. It was not the service.
It's unnatural.
It's an adjustment.
Yeah, it's unnatural.
It's not the service that I wanted to provide for my guest. It's also not the service that my guests are used to.
Right.
So, you know, that's another thing. Like, if you're used to going to a restaurant and having your food in 15 minutes,
That's not him. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
and it may or may not, but I'm just
be polite, guys. I mean, just give us all, because we're all transitioning. I mean, we're transitioning. They can't get the produce out fast enough for us. So just calm down.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I just want to say, and I'm not trying to be all that, but it did frustrate me because it was precious little busboy bringing out and, you know, and
he doesn't know.
He doesn't
he's
know.
like, I didn't have anything to do with making this food. I'm just trying to get it to you.
Trying to get it to you because this is a service. We're actually, and I know we're staying in business, but it's a service for us. And you're right. Yes, we can cook because guess what? I ordered 10 margaritas to go, and I got 10 margaritas to go. Okay.
How about it? I am so ready for this. I haven't done my first takeout yet.
Micosino does margaritas to go?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Blue Goose. Yeah.
So can we talk about the things that we should keep from COVID?
Yes.
Can we talk about the things that should stay?
Yes.
Okay. So all of you Texas officials out here, I just want to say we are digging the delivery, margaritas, liquor, booze, drive-through. Thank you.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Everyone else has been doing it. Now we're in crisis, we catch up. But whatever. Better late than never.
Because let me make sure I understand, because last month this wouldn't happen. You weren't getting a margarita to go, right?
So
Right. You have to order food, though. You have to have some food with you.
But
chips and salsa counts as food.
But that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
So had this rule been established before, a week
We are
out?
part of the Bible Belt. That's why we have not done that, and that's why we close so early on Sunday.
But I'm not saying that that's why. I'm just saying that this happened so far out after restaurants go into to-goes only.
Yeah.
So they decided to implement the alcohol 2 days later.
Yeah. Well, you had enough people complaining about it.
I mean, if I had been able to sell wine 2 days out the door 2 days before, then we might be in a different position.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Possibly. Because you have to understand that most restaurants can't survive on selling food alone.
Just a little salad.
Especially when they have a fully operational bar that is busy.
Right.
Like me. So you can't just...
Thank you. Oh
no, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. But just like there are signature cocktails, just like there are signature menu items, and the legislation hadn't thought about all those things until we got to this point where it's like, oh my goodness, these restaurants can't survive only selling salmon.
Fajitas,
or fajitas. No, the reason they have made the money that they've made based on TABC tax credits, they're selling this much money in alcohol.
right.
So if you take that away, then there's no reason
To stay alive.
Yeah, you can't stay alive because when you pick a restaurant location, you decide you're going to pay rent based on a certain number of things. Two major components of that. How much alcohol can I sell and how much food can I sell?
Alcohol being first.
Alcohol being
Seriously, yeah.
first. Because if you can't, I mean, so like you cannot, most restaurants can't survive on selling food alone.
Wow.
You know, and I did notice that a few restaurants did reopen after that alcohol law came down.
Wow. So it's just so impactful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you think about it. Just think about it on a small scale. Think about those restaurants that are 24 hours.
Think about your.
They don't sell alcohol.
Think about your tab.
They
That's
gotta
true.
Make that
Gotta
much
keep going,
revenue.
selling
No,
waffles.
just think about your tab if you don't have drinks on it.
Oh, you were
Yeah,
saying
that
the other
too.
day when we were talking in episode number 7, you were talking about how you got into, you were thinking about wine and you're like, okay,
That's how I can make money.
if you're a wait staff, you can, okay, Tiffy comes in and orders a salad. Okay. All right. And I have 3 puppies. That's my limit, unless she's there with me. And if I have 3 puppies, I just drove up the bill.
Yeah.
That makes absolute sense. So with these restaurants.
you just ordered like
yeah.
an entree and a half.
Exactly. Exactly. So that makes perfect sense. So a restaurant in town, and I'm not going to name names, but I just noticed that they began selling wines at 50% off, toilet paper, paper towels,
Oh, that's selling everything?
selling everything. So it was very concerning to me. I mean, I'm like, why, other than maybe just starting a blank slate? And,
not-
you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
there is
That's
not a
scary.
shortage of toilet paper.
But I
That's
tell you
scary.
what, well, but
you just
there-
can't get it.
There's not a shortage of toilet paper, but it's hard to find.
Exactly.
So I actually, on our one day of to-go curbside service, thought about like putting a promotion on order to go
Get a roll.
curbs and get a roll of toilet paper. But the boys were like, you don't want poop associated with your food.
Yeah, you do.
But evidently it's working. I
Yeah,
came
yeah.
up with it and nobody got to see my
They're
ID.
often $2
Hey,
a
it's
roll.
a cause and effect.
Man, I'm telling you.
It's a cause and effect. You eat, you put.
No.
Hey,
This is where we're not going to go.
well, see, it's called.
Next. Next.
You know what, Charisse, you know, I was walking through my closet the other day just to go out, and you know, you and I both love to dress up. And
Yes.
I was walking through and I was thinking, I don't even know where to wear my shoes. I'm a shoe hoe, but I'm like, I don't know where to wear my shoes. And so, you know what? I have a precious friend that's in the fashion industry, Julie, and another industry that's hit.
Oh, girl.
Oh my gosh.
Because let me tell you what I'm not.
We have nowhere to go.
We don't have anywhere to go, and I'm not buying a thing.
No,
Right
I know
now.
it. I know it. And that's just, I want to support my people in the fashion industry. And,
Girl, I can't support nobody.
but you know
right
what
now.
I mean? It's just,
I know. You like it is trickled down because I will tell you, that's I will shop. I will get my nails done. I will, because it's not just us. That it's not.
No.
It's not a single industry that's affected. So I don't know what I'm gonna look like by the time.
Yeah.
have you started turning gray yet?
Girl, I'm old. Yes.
No. I'm old. But I
got
mean,
some
have you?
sprinkles in
Oh
there.
yes.
So
Yes.
you have some color going on.
I have a little bit of color going on. I am super gray.
Cause she got anything like me, she got some gray going.
Oh, I'm super gray. So, but luckily it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's easily camouflaged.
Nice. Yeah,
But-
girl. No, I'm.
So
I think it's gonna
my
be a lot more after
lashes.
this.
Yeah, my lashes. I don't know. I have 5 over here, 8 over here right now. My nails. I got them done right before I found out that this might happen. So shout out to Nina. Thank you, girl.
Right.
Good heads up. So I got my nails done.
They look great.
Yeah, for another week
Exactly.
if I don't break one.
Don't break it. You're not doing anything.
I've been in the girl. What do you mean? I'm doing all the things I have time for.
Oh, then that will ruin your nails.
Yes, I'm gardening. My whole backyard is hooked.
Yeah, it looks good.
I've planted all my flowers. I've picked all my weeds. I've done all the things that I haven't had time for.
Right.
So yeah,
Well,
which
that's
are
good.
damaging to the
Do
nails.
your nails. That's good. That's a good point. Well, my hair is going to go long like Chris's.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Get like me.
And Chris shaved
Hashtag.
his face.
Yeah, I did.
Like I haven't seen
I
him.
figured I would.
Why?
I shaved everything,
was
my
bored.
mustache and my whole beard.
Because he was bored.
Only
This is what you do when you're at home.
Well, I said I'm gonna shave it all off, and I'm gonna count and see how long this thing lasts, and see where I'm at.
And
that
now,
because I have never looked like this ever.
Yes, you had.
No, I've never had not a mustache too. Like I've shaved my beard,
He
with
actually
no
has.
mustache.
Wow, you're clean.
I mean, it's before he remembers.
Clean, yeah.
It's when he was
When he was 7 years old.
When he was 17.
When I couldn't get it.
Yeah, when he was 17, he couldn't pay hair to grow on his face.
Now nothing.
You
So
couldn't
we'll
paste
see
it
how
on
long
We'll see how long
it takes.
So now all the guys
Are doing
on the service staff
are doing challenges. Either
are
mustache
challenging each
challenge
other
or-
to see how long their facial hair can grow because they know when it's time to come to work, you're going to have to cut that mess off.
Yeah.
I'm not
wait a
having
minute.
it.
So all of your staff,
Yeah.
even Johnny Depp.
I don't
Julian.
know about Johnny Depp, Julian. Shout out to my boy Jules.
I know. You know, he told me, he goes, my name's not Johnny. I'm like, I know.
So is he Johnny Depp in what movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a staff member. He looks just like Johnny Depp. Julian's getting a big head right now. So,
He's the cutest thing, but he doesn't
he's a
really
cutie,
look
but
that
he
much
looks
like
like Johnny Depp. So I was wondering if he was letting his beard grow out.
Maybe Johnny Depp in Shadowbox.
I don't know. I'll find out. I don't know. I'll find out.
Can you group text them?
I
Please,
will.
for Tiffy?
Yeah.
I will tell Julian he was a whole 2-minute subject on a podcast. He's gonna love it.
That's true. That's true. All right. So tell me what you're telling your children right now. Because you have a 17 and an 18
I have a
year old.
17 and 18 year old.
Both girls.
Both girls, yeah.
21-year-old girl with
And she
Charisse,
has
and I have a
21.
21-year-old.
Yes.
My daughters, man, start with my youngest daughter, man. Sad thing for her is her birthday is the 27th of this month, right? So last year on her 16th birthday, she was in the hospital for 11 days with a liver issue, kidney and liver. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So she missed that birthday. Now she's going to miss this birthday too because, she's here, but,
Yeah,
what do you do?
I know.
So
Virtual happy hour.
Yeah, you have a virtual
They
party.
can't have
Virtual party. Everybody tags in. Hashtag Zoom. I guess everybody's like doing this Zoom thing. But yeah, so my daughters. When it first started coming down the pipeline, I called and just told them, Dad loves you no matter what, and that's always a thing with us. Love is love, and love is always exuded between us, and I never shy away from that. As a man, I know some guys do kind of shy away from being as affectionate or showing much affection, just because that's a American thing, and we're supposed to be this macho, show.
I think it's a little more cultural.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, I am a love first type of guy. I show my love at the front. I might wear it on my sleeve, however they call it. But
He does.
I always talk to my daughters. I always talk to them and let them know that we're in this thing together, no matter what, and no matter what's coming along. But in this crisis, I've just sat down with them, told them, is there anything you need? Talk to Dad. Your moms are there, and they're in your lives, and they're gonna be your rock. And we're all in this together. The whole country, this whole world is in this.
And
thing
we're into
together
this.
right
We're
now.
in it.
So, as I spoke on earlier, we just have to examine ourselves. No matter how old you are, we have to examine ourselves in this time and try to be a better person on the other side of this whole thing, no matter where it is, no matter if it's spiritual, no matter if it's physical, no matter if it's financial, whatever. I think we all have to work on ourselves and just be better people on the other side of this so that we can be a better world. Because I think we've needed time to assess ourselves and sit back and say, you know what?
Chris.
I didn't.
Chris.
As a world,
I'm
we
good.
did.
Chris.
I would have kept taking that check.
I
I was
you know
just fine.
I do think that this world is so divided right now,
Yeah.
and it's, to me, in my opinion, and I'm going to say something in a minute. So those of you, I don't talk about this because I can't stand it.
Not. She starts itching her palm.
Yeah, I start itching my palm. If you ever see me on YouTube itching my palm, it's not good. But when I start talking politics, I itch my palm. I get very uncomfortable and I'll leave. Now, my husband digs in. He digs in deep because he has very passionate ideas and he very passionate. And it's great. I love it. But I think that I know I'm that way because I'm not educated enough in it. I mean, I've chosen, we were talking before the show, blinders on sometimes. And there's a little bit more time for me to reflect and listen. Now, I will say this. Oh, I'm an itch. Oh. I am 100% moderate. I am a moderate. And sometimes I don't even know what that means. I'm divulging myself, so everybody just don't ask me any questions. But I am opening myself here. So I do not like to talk. Charisse and Greg will get into a conversation, and I'm like, I'm going home, guys. Yeah. I'm going home, and it makes me very uncomfortable. But they love each other, they kiss, and then go away. But I don't like that. So, but my point is, my different opinion is that I put a video out there about this because we are so far apart. We are so ridiculous. The world is, okay, I don't care who you voted for, but sometimes you need to put Twitter down and you just need to think about what you say because, and again, I'm not saying who you should vote for, but I think as a world, we may actually come together. We may come together. Oh, yeah. We may start listening to each other and to come together. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And we do, you know what I'm saying?
I like it.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to say, okay, now turn off the radio. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't go any further apart.
Well, we can.
Well, I know.
We absolutely can.
Not in my world.
But we absolutely have the opportunity to come together. Mm-hmm.
And the opportunity. So, I love that word.
And that's what this is. This is an opportunity. And so, I definitely come from a Christian home and my household, I have a Christian household. So, one thing is, that I've been saying through this is like sometimes when you're not listening to God, he'll find a way to make you listen. Well, I ain't got nothing but time right now.
Shut you down.
So, and it's the same with, taking things for granted. Mm-hmm. I think that as a society, there's so many things and so many people and so many graces that we take for granted that we should really, sometimes get back to basics, be a community, be a neighborhood, know the people you live next to. It's like I've seen people in my neighborhood I've never seen before.
Right.
Part of the reason is because I work long hours, so I get up, I get ready in my house and I leave my house. Mm-hmm. And then I come home, I, eat dinner, shower, get in the bed. Unless I'm off, that's your life. That's my life at home. So I don't know who's walking up and down the street. I don't know who lives. Now, fortunately, I know all my neighbors, my direct neighbors, but I don't know who lives at the end of the street. Sure. Now, Jay might say something about me. Yeah. But
Jay is,
and they probably know. They know Jay.
Her husband Jay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've never seen these people. They're walking up and down the street. I've seen dogs I've never seen, and I just think that this looks like Leave It to Beaver, 100% 1960s. This is what the world used to look like, and here we are again. You only went to the grocery store when you needed to. Mm-hmm. You only bought what you needed to buy. Mm-hmm. You only did what you needed to do. Mm-hmm. The only person that left the house was the person who needed to work. Mm-hmm. Like in all of the necessity in our lives
that we've added,
that we feel are necessities, are not necessities, are not necessities.
And back to the basics.
And that's where we are right now. Unfortunately, that really impacts my industry because once people learn to cook.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. But
but then we get back to the specialties. Like I mean,
we create an ambiance. Like you can't like coming to Pacific Table is not
just going to
eating salmon.
Yeah.
You're not going to get rock shrimp at my house at night.
Yeah.
Not at night. Now, if they come up, if we can get your kitchen staff over, well, we can. Yeah.
No, girls, stay shelter in place.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all stay home.
Right. We all grew up. I mean, we grew up about 30, 45 minutes from each other, the three of us, and we've just met later in life. But
Awesome.
I grew up in Wortham, in Central Texas, and there in the Billmead, Waco area. And let me tell you, and my dad to this day still, they know everyone that in the town. Well, it's a tiny town, 1,008. Woohoo, Wortham. But seriously, knew everyone. And let me someone gets sick, you take them a casserole. You know what I mean?
You take them food.
And that's the
you knew who was in your community. You knew who you were dealing with. And I understand we live in Fort Worth. There are 900,000 people here.
Exactly.
It's a huge community, but
Inner communities, smaller communities.
everybody knows that everybody knows everybody in Fort Worth.
That's
Just
true.
about. Those who know.
Those who know. So it's like, let's just get back to basics, guys, and let's love each other. Let's live for each other. That's something that we don't do. We're so selfish in today's society.
Oh, gosh.
That if it doesn't affect me, then I don't care about it. And I think that's kind of the message at this point in life.
That's an interesting point. The Lord may be going, listen to me.
Hello.
Are y'all
Listen,
listening?
They're like, girl.
Are y'all listening to me? Because we're listening now. I mean, we can't even go to church.
Yeah.
You can't even go to
exactly.
church.
But that's the thing. Like we as a society have gone so tech so fast that there's no time to listen to anything. Because the funniest meme I've seen out of all of this, there's some good ones out there.
I'm like, the
Oh,
funniest
good ones out there.
I think the most true to heart one is the one where it has the picture on top and it has the whole family in the living room and they're all on their phones like this. And then now on the bottom one, they say during Corona, everybody's outside riding their bikes and doing all this stuff like that. So it's like, because, or under quarantine, now everybody wants to go outside and do the things besides be on their phone and be.
Because you can only go outside around your house.
Because how close were we to almost total social distancing by no design of our own? Because how many places you go and everybody's like this, straight down on their phone, like on their phone.
You can't even
when
get
they
people
sit
lift
at the
their
bar,
heads.
Sit at the bar, walking into a restaurant, they're on their phone. They didn't even open the door for themselves. They're like, so.
It's crazy. And I am just
I
as,
think we're all
I'm guilty. I'm
guilty of that
guilty.
in some sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is. I'm guilty, and I'm branching into this new industry for myself at 55, influencing it.
Great choice, Tiffy.
Yay, Tiffany. But trying to
How did you decide to pick a Corona
time to do
Corona-proof industry to
well,
jump
that's
into?
true. That's true.
Look at that.
I was at a chef, and then went, oh, I'm going to go do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But you're right. In today we were outside at our home having lunch that I made for my husband, and he wasn't at Pacific Table with Bill Blackman. And there's a
Bill.
father. I have to tell you something. A father going by on a bike with their son or their child in a cart, on the back, just pulling them along. And Greg went, I've never seen anything like that.
See?
That is so cool. Oh my gosh. So we were laughing. He goes, my dad couldn't do that because his dad was working his tail off. My dad, every day. My mom stayed home. Genevieve Blackman stayed at home. He said, we wouldn't have done that. Greg didn't have the opportunity to do that. Now he can do that. You know what I mean? So it's true. I mean, he was just like, what in the world? Is that something?
Yeah.
It is an enlightening. So the silver lining in all of this, I drive down University and there's not a car around. But if you go down the back road and you go down over by Tanglewood Elementary, there are people everywhere.
Everywhere.
They're distancing, I'm sure.
And they're 6 feet apart, but they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They're out in their yards. They're swinging. Not swinging, but they're.
That's not social distancing,
Girl,
Tiffany. That is not social distancing.
Oh my God!
You almost made me knock over the mic.
Oh my gosh! I went there, didn't I?
You did.
What?
I thought it was going to be me, but it wasn't me.
I'm just saying that's not what I'm saying. But anyway, oh my gosh. I went there. All right, I'm going to ask you too. How is it and how is it going to be here in the near future. I'm forecasting. How is it working? You're what? How many months apart?
51 weeks.
We're 51 weeks. We're 11 months, 3 weeks apart.
Do the math,
We are
people.
1 week shy of a year
So
apart.
1 week every year we're the same
We're
age.
the same age for 7 days.
For 7 days.
Yeah, Lordy mercy. So,
Yes.
how is it working together? I don't want a rose filled. I don't want the sunshine and roses. Seriously, how? I mean, and
We
working together?
truly balance each other. We
Yeah.
truly balance each other, and he is so used to me being
Hey, the
exactly
joke-
who I
First
am.
off, the joke is, let's go into this. The joke is, I tell everybody who asks this question, I say, well, gee, I'm 39 years old. She's been bossing me around for the longest. Now I'm just getting paid for it. So this is the first time I actually get some revenue
for you bossing
from
him
her
around.
being my
yeah,
boss.
all
So
my
yeah,
life.
I'm grateful for this time in my
Literally all
life.
my life.
You bossing him around.
Yeah.
All my life.
Oh my gosh. So, do you ever have to, or you just know each other? It's a look.
No, I definitely no. I'm definitely the boss.
Yes.
I don't have a problem
Saying that.
reprimanding or reprimanding my employees.
Right. No. Look at Chris.
That's the work code. But when I close that door, I talk to him like I'm his sister. So it's a blessing because I don't have to worry about him calling HR. Because I tell him what I need him to know when I need him to know it. And I know we truly balance each other. Our personalities are very different. Mm-hmm. And he knows what to expect from me, and I know what to expect from him. So it works out.
It works out.
So it's never
It's
like
fun. It's so much fun.
It's fun.
It is so much fun.
It's never like a real big rift in between the two of us because, as he says, I've always known she's the boss. So no, just kidding. But no,
Bossy pants.
yeah. But no, honestly, we do balance each other. The things that she kind of shies away from and doesn't totally indulge in, I usually step up in those roles, because that's
Because
just, yeah, and the same thing with her. Like we're levels
the
of
thing
each
about it is he knows if I am lacking or he knows exactly when to step in for me.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. It's
If
like
you've taken something too far or not far enough.
exactly
Both.
in
both,
Right.
both scenarios. So for me, it's like there are just certain things that he's just better. Mm-hmm. He's better. He's better at dealing with certain situations than I am because he's a more level and cool head than I am. I'm a little hot.
You have estrogen.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I wouldn't consider myself emotional, but I'm a woman. So I can definitely be emotional, but he's just
He's calm.
he's just very cool and level all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm fire.
Can't see that if you're not on YouTube. Shout out YouTube. I'm pretty level and cool. Look at me.
If you can see him now, please everyone turn on YouTube to see him. Oh my gosh.
Just because you wear sunglasses in a studio does not make you cool.
No.
Well, hey, step one. Step one.
It's a 3-step process.
Get out.
That's so funny. That's so
No,
funny.
but we balance each other. I love it.
no,
We have a great
yeah.
time. We have a great time at work. He's I know I can depend on him.
Sure.
He knows he can depend on me. Right. And but as with all of my management staff though, I have an incredible team.
Oh
and
my
an
gosh.
incredible
y'all
team.
do. Kitchen.
Oh my goodness, those guys.
Man, miss those guys. Hey,
Silvano
shout out
and Leo.
PT,
Yes.
kitchen crew.
All of my
Miko
kitchen
Sina.
staff. Miko
That's my kitchen. That's my kitchen.
Oh,
I
that's
miss y'all.
right. Okay.
Miko Sina.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not just the name
Hey,
of the restaurant.
hashtag Bumble. Hashtag Bumble. Get your Bumble on so you can learn some Spanish or something.
I know that is Greg wants to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
know.
time to do it.
This is time to do it. I took French in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that helped me in culinary school.
I was about to say they taught that in Wortham.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? There was one little old lady that taught French.
Yeah.
So tell me about the, I always just going through culinary school. That's the only experience I had because I had to be in the restaurant at that point, is the perishables. Mm-hmm. And I mean, so tell us the perishables, the food that
One of the other things I definitely give fully and Jenny kudos for.
Now, who's Jenny?
Jenny is the vice president of our company.
Okay.
So another thing that I give them kudos for is they organized a food pantry for our entire staff.
The day of the meeting.
The day of the
Thursday
meeting,
morning.
when we got laid off, they decided that they were going to bring all the food from all the concepts
stores,
to one location.
Wow.
And we would call the entire staff and we would make food bags for them.
No way.
So any and everything you can think about, any like meat scrap, whole chickens, eggs,
Trout,
trout, mussels,
heavens.
salmon, like there was so
oysters, like everything.
yeah,
like,
oysters, girl. We had oysters. Ooh, we had
man.
oysters.
Yeah, look at the tip says
No.
oysters. You can keep them.
Yes,
Stinky.
I mean it was there. There was. I mean,
Vegetables, fruit.
Sure.
I mean herbs,
bread,
cilantro's, bread. We had.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything.
anything you artichokes, like anything that we've served,
Yeah.
have served, do serve. All of those things were available
Were distributed
for
Yeah.
and managed properly too. So it was bagged up and anything that was left that did not get distributed, we took to the food bank.
Food bank. Right, right. So the wine?
The wine,
Wine is still
the
good.
wine.
It wasn't open.
Yeah,
it's
the
still,
wine will be
The
fine.
wine is still there. It's going to be fine.
The wine will be fine.
That's
wine
right.
be finer.
That's right. You know, I was looking at the restaurant I was talking about. I mean, they're selling all their wine. I mean,
Yeah. Well, if it's
but
not
that's profitable, right?
true. But if it's not open,
Yeah.
then you
Ooh,
don't
what
have
you
to
do with
sell it
open
right
stuff?
now.
But the
Yeah.
markup is different when you're selling it out the door than it is when you're selling
Is
it in
it
the restaurant.
really?
Oh,
girl.
definitely all day.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a different process. Okay, so we have another person that's not here. Well, there's three other people that's not here. My husband, Greg. Boy, wouldn't that be fun? And then Jay. And then we've talked about Jay and Greg before, but Jessica, and I feel free that I want to get her on here someday, but Jessica just went through a major surgery a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
She's a former soccer player and she has some hip issues, but how is Jessica doing? Jessica works for TCU. And let me say one thing about Jessica. I adore her. My daughter's at TCU. She's a junior, and Jessica will see her on campus. And Kennedy's like, she stops what she does. She comes over, she hugs, and they're not in the school right now, so she's not hugging, but Mom, she really loves me.
Yeah.
I believe that she really cares deeply for me. Now, what is Jessica's job? I know she's worked with Sam Watts, a friend of ours, a former athlete at TCU. And
Yeah.
what is she doing?
So her official title is she is Assistant Athletic Director of Student Development at TCU.
Wow.
Which encompasses all sports.
I'm glad you got that right.
Yeah, all sports at TCU.
She's listening.
I've said it a lot. So, but encompasses all sports. I mean, like, there's a lot of sports at TCU that people don't even know about.
Equestrian.
Women's Rifle Club.
Sure.
Shout out to Women's Rifle Club, TCU, national champs 3 years in a row. I mean, killer. Like the best
awesome.
thing.
The best.
Best thing going. Men and women.
Texas
they
and
beat-
guns, boy, we got
Oh,
'em.
man.
Beat West Virginia.
West Point, yeah. West Point, I mean,
Yeah.
best thing going on. But she encompasses all sports. And she works with all the students in their life, helps them with their life goals and things going on, and just keeping school in perspective and life in perspective and everything like that. So she's very in touch with a lot of people, not physically in touch, but
We all have. Gosh, we still. Is it sad we have to?
Nobody's
say that?
touching right now.
Yeah,
Nobody's
touching anybody.
and she is still doing this right now. She is still able
Right.
to communicate with these students who are still quote unquote in school.
They are in school.
They're still doing online and they're still being held accountable for their grades and everything else. So they are still doing these things, and she is still part of this. So
And she's still needed. Her job is
Yeah.
still very necessary to
Her
get
job-
these kids through this transition from going to class to
right online, and you got to think about all these seniors who are. This is their last year. They're trying to finish this thing up, and they need help to transition to the end of this thing. So back to the beginning of this whole question, Jessica was on leave. She's going to be on leave for 4 to 6 weeks anyway with
This is
rehab.
surgery.
With rehab. So now we're all on rehab with her. You know, I just happen to be there with her now. But, she's still doing video chats, video conferences with, her superiors and everything else. So work is at
She's busy.
regular capacity with her. And now everybody else just happened to be home too.
Right.
So shout out to you, TCU, for keeping our household
Right.
paid.
Absolutely. Then there's
Because she
that.
still gets paid.
And we're going to count on you when the restaurant opens.
Right. So we appreciate that. But no, Jessica's at home right now, and hopefully we can all get on here and do this together.
Wouldn't that be fabulous?
It'd be fun. But we're having a great time. She went to the doctor today to check out everything. Everything's on schedule.
Good.
She's good to go. And
Healing is going great.
yeah, healing's going great. She's doing a lot more than
Modern technology, modern medical. That's thank goodness we still have that. So,
shout out to Harris.
We ready for it to kick in
Yeah.
with this corona.
I know. Come on, guys. All right.
I'm sorry, COVID. Have I been using the wrong term the whole time?
Have
Corona, the issues interchangeable. Corona, COVID-19, it's all the same.
See
we
me?
know.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's
Yeah, we all know,
know what I mean.
what you're talking about. Absolutely. Well, guys, I cannot tell you, first of all, how much I appreciate you coming out and supporting me because you know where I'll be on
Girl,
Mondays and Friday nights.
Let me tell you what. You're going to be the first call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we'd
know
love
it.
to.
I'm going to be like, Tiffy.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm going to be like, this is the exclusive.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to have Bill Kirk and Greg Blackman knocking at the door for sure, for sure. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, and I honestly, I love you too. I love your family.
Oh, we
I
love
love
you
what
too,
you,
girl.
and I just. We're going to survive this.
Oh, yeah.
we
We'll be on the other
absolutely
side
will.
of all
We are
this.
going to survive it. And, I just thank you so much for being here.
I can't wait to the podcast after all this.
I know for all the,
Let's
it's
go.
going to be,
You're
you know
not
what?
coming
It's gonna
back,
be fun.
sir. This was
back.
I wonder if we can get him without his sunglasses.
I doubt it.
Maybe. Hey,
listen.
tweet if y'all want to see Chris without his sunglasses. We'll see how that works.
Tell you what, this is your one and only.
You know what? He's coming alive all of a sudden.
I'm gonna be like Elton John. I'm gonna wear a different pair every day.
He done got to the bottom of that drink. So
You know what,
now-
Chris? You
that
may have to be
mystery-
my sidekick here. I mean,
I can do that too.
Let me tell you.
I don't pay a lot though.
That's okay. Hey.
Take it from somebody who already has him as a sidekick. You might not want that.
No. So everyone, I would love for you to follow Pacific Table because they have their Instagram still up and going. And
Yes.
you know what? I love giving shout outs to my people there. And I'm afraid I miss some people from time to time, but it's at Pacific Table on Instagram.
Yes.
And my girl Charisse, it's at Charisse, SCHARISSEJ, the letter J. And then here we go. I'm going to say this correctly. At C is in Chris, Real, REAL, Black. Yeah. C Real Black.
C Real
I'm like,
Black.
when he was telling me earlier, I'm like, it's
Creole
Creole Black.
Black.
What are you, just a Cajun thing you got working, buddy? It's
Well, it's Chris with tapped on the real, and it's Chris's real.
The real
type
Chris.
Just,
Hey, someday-
Creole.
when y'all
When
come
you
back,
gotta explain it, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be your name.
No.
When you come back, I have to show him your Bitmoji because you
yeah.
talk
It
about
is
a real. Oh my
hilarious. It
gosh,
looks
he's
just
so
like
funny.
him.
It looks just like him. I've
out
never
to
seen
my
with a
Eagles,
Philadelphia Eagles shirt on. Oh my
so
gosh.
what we didn't talk about is how the fact that I bleed blue and I don't know how he's my brother with this Eagles crap on his chest.
Hey. Okay.
Hey,
We're not gonna do it.
Okay, so quick
Sounds like the
story
end of the
before they
podcast.
leave. Before they leave, so Charisse has been on before, and she said, "Okay." I mean, so she looks so cute and all hottie. She's been here, so she picks up her brother, and she's like, "I forgot to tell you to dress up," but he has on his Eagles
I didn't
shirt.
tell him to dress. I just said I forgot to tell you that they recorded.
Yeah.
Video
It's on
recorded.
YouTube.
So
yeah.
this is everyday wear for the kid. This is what I do. I mean, I
Terrible.
respect every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're
Get him
cowboy,
off.
we're
Those who
cowboy
know,
girls.
know.
Yes.
Cowboy girls. Well, everyone, please follow me at Tiffany C. Blackman, and please do me a huge favor. Go to YouTube, subscribe, and leave a comment for me, and please rate and review my podcast. Listen, we're doing so well. We're making a
please,
difference.
please.
Yay!
Subscribe
yay.
might have been the right word.
That's true. We might
Subscribe
need for
to
screen. But thank you for listening to My So-Called Fabulous. Have a wonderful, everyone be safe out there.
Yes.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.